Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Mama Geniuspreneur podcast. So excited for our next guest. If this is you, you're pouring your heart into post reels and email that no one opens. You try boosting a post. Ouch, a waste of money. Everyone says, just create another freebie, but you barely have time to breathe. What if visibility didn't have to cost money or your sanity? That's what Tracy Beavers learned. After 2 decades in marketing and sales, she left corporate, grew her list organically, and now teaches women like you how to do the same with strategies that feel easy and aligned. If you're ready to ditch that paid ad overwhelmed and get seen by the right people, this is a conversation for you. So we're going to get started right after this. Mamas, welcome to the Mama Geniuspreneur podcast, where real stories spark real transformations for moms ready to bring their visions to life. I'm Michelle DeKaiser, a mom of 3, entrepreneur, and your biggest cheerleader if you've ever felt pulled to create something bigger, whether it's a business, a book, or a movement, but also felt the weight of daily life slowing you down. You are not alone. In just 15 minutes, we'll dive into insights, strategies, and real stories for women like you. Let's bring your visions to life, starting now. Tracy Beavers is an award-winning business and sales coach with over 20 years in marketing. Named the 2023 Vanity Fair Support Award winner for women's entrepreneurs. She's coached hundreds of entrepreneurs to grow their visibility and email list without paid ads. Creator of Business Visibility Made Easy and host of the Create Online Business Success podcast, Tracy helps women build businesses and live lives they love with ease. Oh, I'm so excited. We need your mentorship today, Tracy. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast.
Thanks. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. We really go into this visibility and all of these ideas. So what drove you down this range of wanting to help women become visible, or what was your story behind that setback, or whatever it was for you?
Yeah. So I evolved into being or a visibility and list growth strategist. When I first started, my backstory is that I was in corporate for over 20 years. Never thought I would leave corporate. If you had told me 7 years ago I was going to work for myself, I would have been like, no, I'm not. Because my dad worked for himself and he made it look like a grind. It did not look fun at all. But the final straw for me was working for a CEO that didn't understand how to motivate a sales force and wanted to monkey around with the commission structure every time we started to gain more traction on the market, basically making more money.
Right.
And so I thought, wow, okay, I can't do this anymore. So I decided to take my over 20 years of marketing, sales, business development experience and start my own coaching practice. And I started locally. And then it grew into the online space. And then that grew into realizing that I had a lot of clients and students that were creating awesome offers, and they would go to launch it and promote it and nobody would buy it. And they would come to me wondering why. And I would say, okay, tell me about your audience. Well, I don't have one. Tell me about your email list. Don't have that either. And so I thought, we can't put the cart before the horse anymore. We have got to focus foundationally as business owners on ramping up our visibility to attract our audience so that we can get into conversation with them either in the DMs or in our inbox. And that email list, as you know, Michelle, is one of the only things we own as online business owners, because we don't own, we're on StreamYard right now. We don't own that. We're on, whatever platforms you're seeing us on right now, we don't own them. And so really the only way to sustain is to have that email list. So that's how I landed here.
And I love that so much, because it's so true, because Facebook at any point can ban you. I mean, we had that whole TikTok incident where everyone could have lost TikTok. I mean, you never know what may happen, who goes bankrupt, whatever may be the case. So I would love for you just to, I know as we took that intro story into that overwhelmed mom who's just like, how the heck do I get this? Where do we start with really creating that foundation that you're speaking of?
So one of the foundational pieces of visibility was something I developed when I built this business alongside my corporate job. I forgot that part. I couldn't just leave my corporate job cold turkey and make no money. That was not going to be fair to my husband or our kids or anybody. And I didn't want the stress. So I thought I'll just, build this. And as my business grew, as a coach, I was able to step down into lesser roles in corporate until fully exiting. But one of the things I developed early on that I still use and I still teach is when it comes to visibility online, the key to it is to have enough content every week for your audience to see, and consistent content. And a lot of times when I say consistent content, people think, oh, she wants me to post 7 days a week on all the platforms. Absolutely not. I want you to pick one platform, especially if you're pressed for time, go all in on it, get it to convert, learn what it wants you to do, learn what's resonating with your audience, and then you could go to a different platform. So for me, it was Facebook, because this was about 6 years ago when LinkedIn was a place to go get a job. It's not what it is now. And Instagram, I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't been on it. I just was like, I don't even know what that is. And so I thought, I know Facebook. I'm going to go all in on Facebook. And so then I had to ask myself, okay, I need social media content every week. I need a regular piece of weekly content every week. And for me, a regular piece of weekly content is either a live video like we're doing right now, or a podcast, which I also repurpose my live into my podcast like you do. It's genius. Or a blog. And so I thought, okay, blogs are boring to me. I don't want to write that. And I didn't want to spend the time on SEO to get it to work. And podcasts seemed like a lot of work because I am not a tech person. At the time, I just was like, I'll just push a button and go live and talk to people. So I decided I was going to go live every week. And then I thought, okay, I need some social media content alongside that. So I had to decide how many days a week could I create posts for, week in, week out, so that I was consistent. And all I had time for was to go live once and post like 3 pieces of content per week, and then sprinkle in some lead magnets, so I would end up with maybe 5 posts a week, 2 of those being lead magnets, then the live video, that's a third piece, and then maybe 2 fresh social media posts on that topic from my live. That's all I had time for. But I had to be consistent with it week in, week out. And so one of the strategies I teach in my program is to create that one regular piece of weekly content, which for me was my live script, writing out what I was going to say. And then, and AI wasn't around back then, I don't think. Now we've got ChatGPT.
Exactly.
But I would literally look at the live script and go, okay, I made 4 points in this live training of, let's say I'm teaching about, I don't know, how to be in other people's free Facebook groups without and get visibility without even the ones that don't allow promotion. That's a strategy that I teach. So if I made gave 4 tips in there, I could take one of those tips, write a social media post. Another tip, write a social media post. Another tip. So I could get 4 posts out of that. Or I could do 2 tips on one post and 2 tips on another post. But what I've done is I've written that one piece, and I'm helping myself get the more content out of it. Instead of sitting there thinking, okay, I've got to write the live. Now I've got to write 4 different posts about different topics. No, pick that one topic, write your one piece, let everything else you need for the week be born off of that, including your email to your list. Still today, my email to my list on Tuesday is, hey, Michelle, this is what I'm going to talk about live on Thursday. I hope you'll join me.
It's brilliant, though, in terms of that consistency, as well as splashing out that content so they're getting more of it, and then you're actually we're going to talk more about this right after this. Are you a mompreneur who feels a fire to create something bigger, a business, a movement, a message, but you don't want to do it alone? That's why I've created the Mama Genius Hub, a space where your vision is nurtured, your voice is heard, and your dreams grow alongside a supportive community. Inside the hub, you'll get bite-sized insights and strategies in 15-minute sessions. A community of like-minded moms who truly get it. Support to bring your vision to life without burnout. If ready to build your business and impact while staying true to yourself, join us today at connectingmamas.com. Your calling matters. Let's grow it together. And I love this, how we're going through the steps of the foundation, right? And then we're going into picking one platform to start on. One. And so just if you're thinking LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, whatever just jumped out at you, just go with that one. Mm-hmm. And we're going into, I love how you just described the one content per week and then how you can repurpose this. What do we do next?
Yeah. And so then you just want to make sure your content is out there. And, here's a little tip. I get tired too. We all do. But as a CEO who wants consistency and wants visibility, even if I don't feel like it, I've got to hold my nose and do that content every week. And now, if I'm on vacation, that's one thing. But, whether I liked it or not, whether I felt like it or not, whether I felt like going live or not, that was not the point, because the algorithm favors consistency. And if we want the algorithm to pick us up enough to push us out, to attract our ideal clients, and also your audience is going to start to expect to see you, and it's help your credibility as a thought leader in your space. So whether we like it or not, we have to do it, but we can make it easy, just like we talked about. And so that's a foundational piece that I teach, is that social media content. Enough content for the week based on that one deal. Then another really great thing to do, especially if you're on Facebook. Now, this pertains to any social media platform. If you have a profile on Instagram, LinkedIn, if you're in a community that's on Mighty Networks, Circle, Heartbeat, Kajabi communities, Facebook, wherever you have a social media profile, you want that thing to showcase exactly who you are, who you serve, and how. Make it really easy on people to connect with you, and also let it grow your email list. So if you go and look at my Facebook personal profile right now, you will see on my cover photo that I showcase my free Facebook group. And I am letting you know that you can promote yourself anytime. You're encouraged to network. And my audience loves that. And so when I'm visible online and somebody gets curious about me because they see something I post, or maybe they saw me live, or maybe they're seeing me interviewed by somebody else like we're doing right now, and they go and find me on Facebook, they will slide right down into joining my free Facebook group. And by the way, I have the membership entry questions set up. That grows my list. It also lets me get to know who's coming into my group and have a great DM conversation with them.
Okay, I have to ask a side question because it's been burning me since Facebook changed the regulations. Now with the 3 questions, they've taken away all the automation things of how to collect those emails. So what do you suggest for collecting that? Because it just caution out there for you. Once you click admit or approve, you lose that information.
Actually, you don't.
You don't? Okay.
You don't. So first of all, there are automations that are out there that will gather that for you. I use and love a CRM called Group Track that allows you to track every lead from Instagram, Facebook groups.
Those groups, because I thought groups got taken away from that.
Nope. Not for the CRM system. There's lots of them out there that will help you gather the information of the people that are coming into your group. Group Track also recently added on LinkedIn, which is exciting. But if you don't have a CRM system, that's okay. So let's say you meant to grab the information that people answered the questions. You meant to grab, something from it, and you forgot, and you approved them into the group. Now you can go to your members area, find that person's name. If you forgot who it was and you're like, oh my gosh, I think her name's Michelle, I'm not sure. Go to members and go to new members this week. And that'll shorten the list a little bit, and you'll be able to go, oh, okay, there's that Michelle. And then you click on your name, on that person's name. It's going to show you their profile for your group, not their main personal profile, but the profile within your group. Over on the left side, all the way down, you'll see, I think it's called membership questions or something about that. Membership questions or answers. Click on that. Those 3 things should be there with their email and the way they answer the questions. Now, I did learn this. When you change your membership entry questions, that data disappears. So I change my membership entry questions several times a year, depending on what we're promoting at the time. That second question I always use for promotion in some way, for my wait list, or we have a paid workshop coming up really soon, and we're going to use it for that. So when I change that, if you joined my group, if I changed it today and you joined my group yesterday and I didn't gather your information, that is gone.
Okay.
But because I use a CRM system like Group Track, first of all, I got you in my Kajabi system with your email, and then I send you a friend request, so we're friends. And then Group Track captures all 3 of those questions, those answers in the questions.
Okay, I'm loving this because I know the regulations with Facebook keep changing, and the one that I had been using before, when they changed all the regulations with third-party stuff, like those all disappeared. So I'm glad to hear that there are other ones out there. That's amazing. So I hope people are taking notes on that whole Facebook aspect, because it really is about creating that email list, because You need to gather that information when they come into Facebook.
Yep.
And do you have it automatically approved that if they don't answer the questions that they don't they don't come into the group, or how do you handle that?
I don't. That's a great question. My students ask me that all the time. They're like, okay, I have somebody that wants to join my group, but they didn't answer the questions. And it's funny. I will share in the DMs with somebody about my group, and I'll give them the link to join. And I have invited them, and I tell them, please answer the membership entry questions. I always say, so my admin knows you're not a bot. And then they don't answer them. But anyway, here's how I handle it. So if I have not invited you myself, then I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to hover over your member request, because I can see what groups we have in common. I can see if we have mutual friends. And based on the groups we have in common, that's a clue where you came from. I'm like, how did they find me? Oh, we're in the XYZ group together. Well, if, for example, I am in a paid membership that is a back-end membership off of a course program I went through about how to learn how to create a digital course. So those people are my ideal clients. So if I hover over that and I see, oh, they're coming into me from that group, oh, you betcha, I'm going to let them in. Now, if I can't tell anything from there, I'm going to click on your profile and I'm going to go look, and I'm going to see. And this is why it is so important to keep our profiles current, because I've had some people, there probably are legit, kind, warm-hearted entrepreneurs, but I can't tell that from their personal profile. And if I can't tell that and you didn't answer the questions, I am going to decline with feedback. And I'm going to send you my little message that says, hey, we would love to add you to the group, but please answer all the questions so that we know you are a legit, account, because there's too many bot accounts.
Oh, I love this.
And then if they don't,
yeah, exactly. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. And if they don't come back and answer them, then they're not getting in.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But you do want to go check them out. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that feedback. And I think it helps, especially for those starting out, to figure out the whole Facebook idea and how to do that. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. So tell people how they can get a hold of you. Tell them about your Facebook group. And if you do have a free gift, please share that as well.
You betcha. So I'd love to share my free gift is my Social Media Made Easy guide. It walks you through the strategy that I taught you at the beginning. You're going to create 90 days of content topics in only 30 minutes. And you can go to tracybeavers.com/social to grab that. I also have a podcast that I love. It's called Create Online Business Success. And my free Facebook group, please answer the membership entry questions. It's called Be a Confident Entrepreneur. And you'll find it on my personal profile.
That's awesome, right? So, and also go update your profiles where at too. So we're going to put you backstage for some takeaways and then bring you back for your final takeaway. Wow. Okay. My notes are really long today, but we're going to go through as quickly as we can, but I'll try not to talk too classy. Number one is really just creating that focused foundation, and to really figure out how you want to track your clients so that you're actually getting the email, because that is the only thing that we own. Number two is when we're really looking at being visible online, picking the one platform to get started. Let's get stopped in the rabbit holes. Pick the Facebook, pick the YouTube, pick the one. And then number three is really talking about that social weekly content. I really like how she broke that down, and picking one thing to repurpose, whether it's a podcast, going live every day, once a week, or a blog, whatever is, again, suiting for you, but then using that to break it down into 3 points. Each one of those becomes one of your contents for the week. Number four is Tracy really addressed the idea of when we are tired as CEOs, you still got to push forward and make sure that we're being consistent with that specific content. Or maybe we didn't talk about this, but just another idea out there is to get maybe a month's worth of content done in one spot. But again, you're still going to go live. So, or whatever you're doing, thinking about how you can do that and maneuver that. Maybe it's going live through something like StreamYard or something to help alleviate vacations, things like that. There are workarounds, just being mindful and thoughtful about that so you are consistent. And number five is really going into those profiles, looking at who you serve, where you serve, and how you do it, so that you're using that. And then we went down a little bit of bonus of how to do the Facebook group. So really go back and pay attention to how to answer the questions, how to use that, how to even find the questions once they've answered. But again, if you change the question, it's not going to be there. Tracy, I'd love to have your final takeaway.
Oh gosh, just be consistent, figure out a cadence that works for you, and stay patient. Organic strategies take time. The efforts you put in now, you will start to see pay off in 90 days. And so if you do nothing today, you will see no results. If you start today, you will start to see results in 90 days. So whatever you're doing now will be reflected back to you 90 days from now.
Such a good thought process. Let's keep that 90 days a mark and start checking that off on the calendar to show your consistency and tell yourself and your brain that you can do it. We'll see you all on the next episode. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Bye. That's a wrap for today's episode, Mama. I hope you found something in these 15 minutes that sparked action towards your dreams. Remember, your purpose matters, your dreams are valid, and you are not alone. If today's conversation spoke to you, come join us at the Mama Genius Hub, where you'll find support, strategy, and sisterhood to turn your calling into real impact. Let's grow this together at connectingmamas.com. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. If this resonates with you, share it with another mompreneur who needs to hear this. We'll see you next time.